Hey everybody, what's going on? Hellmite here, bringing another video from Grab the Lantern today. Riot have finally revealed the name of their new fighting game, previously known as Project L, but finally they have given us the name that the game is going to be called going forwards. And there were all sorts of ideas of things that people had been kicking around for a while ever since Project L was revealed. It is, of course, set in the Runeterra universe, so there were a lot of ideas being thrown around, right? Like Legends of Fighting or Lethal Tempo, I think was a cool name that somebody came up with, and stuff like that. But Riot last week finally came out with their name and said, no more are we calling it Project L. Instead, we are calling our new fighting game 2XKO. Now, that's not me coming up with a fun abbreviation of the name. I know some of you are asking, hey, Hellmite, what's the actual game, right? Like League of Legends is LOL, World of Warcraft is WOW, right, or WoW, TFT is Teamfight Tactics, right? So 2XKO stands for something, right? No, it does not. That's the full name of the game. And so today, I wanted to be a hater. I wanted to be a buster. I wanted to clown on Riot for just a supremely stupid idea. And I want to talk about exactly why 2XKO is a fucking terrible name for a video game. Now first, it's not evocative. To anyone outside of the game, it's going to sound like a jumble of letters and numbers. This happens on occasion, right? Like I just gave a bunch of examples of abbreviated game names, even if you want to use in the genre, right? Street Fighter V, SFV. But like, that's just the whole name of the game is 2XKO, right? If you have a conversation about, Street Fighter V and it's, oh yeah, me and a buddy just got into SFV, it's been a lot of fun. Someone says, oh, well, what's that? Oh, Street Fighter V. Yeah, okay, cool, gotcha. Yeah, me and a buddy have just picked up the game 2XKO by Riot. Oh, what's that? It's their new fighting game. No, what's it stand for? 2XKO. That's the name of the game. Like, at minimum, a game being referred to as, some abbreviation, like, you're like, okay, well, what's the full title? But you can't figure out what 2XKO is supposed to be because it isn't actually supposed to be anything. And this is equally problematic because it doesn't tell you anything about the game. I'm not going to say that game names are always extremely evocative and going to tell you exactly what's going on, but minimum, you can kind of get a sense for what the game might be about. Street Fighter. Well, presumably I'm going to be on streets and I will be fighting people. Mortal Kombat. I will be engaging in Mortal Kombat. Someone's gonna die in this fight that we're going to have. But besides that, I don't know anything else about it. 2XKO tells you literally nothing about the game. It doesn't even tell you the genre of the game. There's nothing you can use to guess at it. Like, if I had to guess, it really sounds like some sort of weird auto battler or some mobile, crappy mobile game, tap to shoot kind of thing. It does not sound to me at all like a fighting game, but I guess this is the world we live in. Except for, as well, the name, if you really want to break it down, is so stupid. Because it's 2XKO. Like, 2 times knockout. Like 2 knockouts. Because it's a team battler, and there are 2 guys, and you gotta knock both of them out. 2XKO. Oh, I'm so funny. I'm so smart. Someone at Riot, probably. Like, absolutely terrible name. But that's, like, the only thing I can think of for why they chose 2XKO specifically as a name. Now, the biggest thing, of course, is that the game name is not referencing the IP that it's from whatsoever, which is completely mind-blowing, right? Like, any Dragon Ball game that comes out, or any Star Wars game that comes out, is not hesitating at all to slap that name on the branding, right? Every Dragon Ball game is Dragon Ball Budokai, or Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi, or Dragon Ball Fighter Z, right? Star Wars, it's always Star Wars something, because they want you to know off the cuff, this is the franchise it's a part of. And yet 2XKO is deliberately avoiding this. It is trying to make it so that you don't know what it's supposed to be about, right? And this is so confusing to me that they chose not to say anything about the Runeterra IP. And the only explanation I can really come up with, if you want to put on a tinfoil hat with me here real quick, is that it's a completely generic name because a suit at Riot somewhere came up with the erroneous conclusion that part of Legends of Runeterra's failure came from the name. Admittedly, Legends of Runeterra is a bit of a clunky and long-winded name, but like by far and away, that was not the only problem the game faced. Right, the name was not the problem for Legends of Runeterra. It had a lot of other issues with it inherently. And slapping Runeterra or League of Legends on something does not automatically make it bad, as I saw some people trying to argue. Arcane, a League of Legends story, which is literally what it displays as in the opening credits sequence, displays League of Legends. We know what that's associated with. I feel like trying to avoid League of Legends or Runeterra in general isn't correct, because that actually worked out quite well for Riot following Arcane coming out. So that's not a problem, but I feel like it's someone behind the scenes saying Legends of Runeterra didn't do well, so we have to avoid Legends and Runeterra in the new name for the fighting game, and we're going to try and make the game as generic as possible because we want players to engage with the game, not based on the IP, but based on the merits of the game itself. This approach, unfortunately, does line up a little bit with what Riot announced in one of their recent articles, the one where they mentioned they're firing 500 people, but also they talk about how they want games at the center of everything they do. And 2XKO as a name really feels like they're trying to say, we don't care about the Runeterra IP at all. Like, we literally do not care. We don't want anyone to be worried about the game from an IP standpoint. The only thing we want you to care about is that it is a fighting game, and we want you to like the game on its own merit mechanically. This is a very bold approach, shall we say, because it cuts to the core of what I think Riot are fundamentally missing about things in general, which is that a game being good and fun to play is one thing, but you have to attract people to it somehow. Saying this game is the most mechanically tight thing in its given genre is not going to attract very many people. Saying this game allows you to, go to combat with your friends using a wide variety of extremely interesting and well-designed characters from the Runeterra IP is something that makes me want to play the game, right? Like, if you told me, if that's what the game is letting me understand from the name itself, I'm into that. Trying to say it's a fighting game and it's going to be good, play it. Which is basically what 2XKO is doing. I don't care about that, right? And realistically, if we extrapolate out further, does that mean we should be renaming League of Legends to 5X MOBA because it's 5 players and it's a MOBA? Or should we call Valorant 5X TAC FPS, right? Because it's a 5-man tactical first-person shooter game, right? Like, this argument doesn't hold water. These games are drawing your attention because they have an evocative name, and that's something that 2XKO is completely missing out on. Suffice to say, therefore, 2XKO is an absolutely miserable name, even in comparison to its codename Project L. I would play a game called Project L. I'm not going to play a game called 2XKO, and it just really makes me question the decision-making process that Riot used to come up with it. But let me know what you think of this down in the comments below. If you really think 2XKO is a great name, please tell me why. I legitimately, I'm not going to clown on you, I promise. I legitimately want to know why you think it's a good name. Let me know down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video today, go ahead and leave it a like. And if you really enjoyed the video, consider subscribing. I upload a video every Monday, Friday, and on patch days as well. Once again, thank you guys so very much for watching. I do appreciate it. And I will talk to you all later.